I saw some of that coming out in even like Lil Nas X's interview with Jay Shetty, um, where essentially like I mean honestly it was a pretty good interview. There was things that I
It was a great
disagreed
interview.
with. Um, there's things that I agreed with, but I think there was things that were edifying in the interview. Montero or Lil Nas X goes into that what I thought was edifying. Let me start with the goods first, right? You talked about how folks who are his critics or may see themselves as his opponents, he doesn't see them as his enemies. Even the voices in his head that are sometimes negative or critical, he doesn't see it as like it doesn't belong there. That those negative thoughts have a purpose. Um, that he needs to take those things, to a certain extent seriously. And if it's a critic from the outside, that they're coming from a particular perspective, and that's not like completely invalid. They're not like a bigot or whatever, just because they disagree with them.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That's something that I think most all human beings can do a hot take for. As a Christian, no one's your enemy, right? We're called to love our enemies. Enemies by world standards, but through God's eyes, everyone is your brother or your sister, and someone to be redeemed and brought back into the fold. We are prodigal sons or prodigal daughters at some point. So you look at your brothers and sisters who are astray, right? And they're just prodigal sons right now or prodigal daughters right now.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. He didn't necessarily bring that Christian aspect, but at least not being an enemy with criticism or critical thoughts, even within your own mind. Which to me, sometimes, I mean, the Bible says that God corrects those He loves, right? At the same token, though, I think that some of Lil Nas X's like line of thinking isn't as consistent as as I would like. You know what I mean? He'll do something that's offensive to a lot of people, right? Where that was in the
Purposely.
yeah. I mean, he had admittedly has a little bit of a troll persona.
Yeah.
Whether that's on his Twitter or in music video, right?
That's basically his career. Not a little bit, like that's basically his career, his personality. He likes it. He loves it.
He says he likes chaos.
Yeah.
Controlled chaos, as long as he's controlling that narrative, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting that what his mode of making decisions is looking for not just a feeling, but then supernatural feedback. So he'll look for like a spiritual confirmation. He believes in angel numbers, numerology, like, oh, I saw this certain number and over again, and then I looked up what this number means, and I got to do this, right? Here's the thing, though. When he says his angels are guiding him, I don't think that that's completely out of the realm of possibility. But from a biblical standpoint, right? What kind of angels are guiding you?
Exactly.
Right? Of whose allegiance are these angels guiding you?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's good angels and there's bad angels.
Exactly.
There's angels that serve the Lord, and there's angels that serve the Lord of Darkness.
Yeah.
So, and it seems to me, he's like, I was trying to see what if this next song, his last song being J. Christ, would bring him to the next level. Well, what level are you trying to ascend to, my guy? And the one part that you said, you know what? I think I went too far with this one. The one component that you wanted to take back was like taking of communion. But all the other stuff, that was still very
all that stuff is still left on the table.
A lot of people would consider all the other stuff still like sacrilegious to an extent.
My question is if he took down that video of of him doing the communion, because if it's still up, that says a lot. If he took it down, that would show like that he's really
repentant.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure he didn't take it down, but
well, it's part of the music video. It's out there. You'd have to.
There it is. You can still cut it off, re-upload it.
This is true. It's not though it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the industry and pride that can keep you
Exactly.
doing what you did. You could always take something down.
Yeah.
The internet can save it, but you can
Yeah.
make your choice, right?
There's other things more of a priority than this apology
Yeah.
and
We
making
talked
it right. So
we talked about this with Lecrae the other
Mm-hmm.
day too, like with the Righteous Ratchet thing. Like, bro, you could have stopped the rollout of the shirts.
yeah,
You
can
got enough
stop
money,
it.
bro.
It's your product. It's all you.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, with the whole Lil Nas X thing is just more of a. It was it was very crazy watching that interview because in my mind I was like, oh, this guy's good. This guy's really good. Satan is good. Just like how he talked to Adam and Eve about you won't surely die. Like he is good. Like a lot of these people, entertainers in these interviews, media trained to the fullest. They know how to say certain things. They say it a certain way, and that's what I look for. And the main thing that he was saying throughout this whole interview, even on the video, is, "Oh, this is my truth. They're hiding behind my truth. They're justifying it behind my truth." And of course, we all know in the Bible it says, "Lean not on your own understanding." And someone like Lil Nas X that is a troll, and the little history that we have of him, I don't have much hope and faith in his truth, his understanding that it's correct or um, anything to like follow. Um, I remember in the interview, his father is a pastor.
Mm.
He said his
I think he was a
father
gospel artist even.
artist and pastor. He's in the church,
Mm-hmm.
and when he came out to his father, he said his father didn't accept him, that it was of the devil, and blah blah blah. And then he mentioned later on that his father, after accepting it, was with them in the nightclub, dancing with him and his boyfriend. And in my mind, I'm just thinking like, this whole thing is about his truth, and his father being a pastor that should know the truth is not carrying out the truth to his own son. Like dancing with your gay son in a nightclub, like with his boyfriend, like nothing a part of that is Christianity at all.
It's accepting his son, but it's also accepting the behavior of it all, right? In which case,
behaviors.
I mean, Lil Nas X was saying, he feels like, love is important to him. But he's like, I feel like I'm just trying to have fun. Which is still
Trying to have fun.
which is typically the today's narrative. Hedonistic behavior, transitory relationship. So, I mean, the Bible is clear regarding homosexuality.
Yeah.
But let's say that someone was still had not a clear understanding regarding homosexuality and the like, as it's proposed in the Bible, or as it's declared in the Bible, that still being in support of like transitory relationship and hedonistic sexual behavior, still like just at face value, if you come from pastoral background or gospel background, you ought to know better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And
but it's for some people it's a hard thing to walk, right? To stand for the truth against your family sometimes.
Definitely is. I could especially understand, like, not personally, but I could see that, especially with a child and all of that. Randomly, I was seeing like a video of Dr. Phil, and like the father is there, and like his son comes out and turned himself into a woman, and the father's just crying, and this looks like a hardy man, and he's just crying, and it was just that little clip, and like, so it's understandable like how deep it could really
It's
like
your child.
go.
It's your child.
Yeah.
So it's a painful thing.
Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean you should be in a night in the club with them.
No, for sure, for sure.
Uh-huh.
I agree with you.